Hello folks, this is Tom Martin. This is my lottery strategy game, Decoding the Powerball. I'm picking my numbers for the drawing on November 1st, 2017. I have 7 strategies with my game, Decoding the Powerball. So strategy number 1, the game card color code. Okay, so if you never seen my videos before, what you're looking at is what I call the game card. This represents all 69 white ball numbers in the Powerball lottery. I really don't have anything for the Powerball itself. My goal is to get all 5 white balls correct and win the $2 million prize with the Power Play option. Okay, so I'm going to go to the Powerball homepage. And the 5 white winning numbers that just barely came up were 27, 35, 38, 57, and 66. Okay, so what I do is I put those 5 white winning numbers at the top of this list, okay? And then I transfer the last 3 drawings of numbers over to the game card as red numbers, okay? And then I do the same thing with orange, green, blue, and purple. Okay, so for this drawing here, I have 14 red numbers, 13 orange, 16 green, 13 blue, and 13 purple. Okay, so over here to the far right, this 174, it represents how many color code drawings I kept track of so far. Okay, and out of this 174, 93 have been a 3-color combination. 66 have been a 4-color combination. 13 have been a 2-color combination. And only twice have all 5 colors come up. Okay, and never have just 1 color come up. Okay, so since hardly ever do all 5 colors come up, the strategy is try to guess which one of these colors won't be coming up and eliminate it from the game card. Okay, so for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that no red numbers will be coming up. And the reason why is because red has had a really long run here, okay, of 9 consecutive drawings, okay. And it finally missed here, okay. And actually, it missed right here, okay, and then it had a little run of 5, and it missed, and then it had, now it's up to 5 again. Okay, so I'm just hoping that it's going to miss here, okay. So I'm going to eliminate the red numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so you can see that I blocked out the red numbers. Okay, so when I block out a number like this means that I'm not even going to consider this number when I'm picking my final 5 numbers that I believe will be coming up. Okay, so it's off to the next strategy. Strategy number 2, the individual numbers. Okay, so what you're looking at is what I call the individual numbers. Okay, so basically how this works is up at the very top is the master for all the numbers. Okay, and over to the far right are the 5 white winning Powerball numbers that just came up. Again, it was the 27, 35, 38, 57, and 66. Okay. So this 4 represents that I hit 4 groups, okay? So I'm going to reduce this down so you can see the whole card here. Okay, so I have 7 groups total. Okay, so you can see that I have a group number 1 is 1 through 9. Then it's the teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Okay, so for 7 groups. So again, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. So 2 of these groups won't be able to have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so the strategy is try to guess which one of these groups won't have the winning Powerball number to it and eliminate it from the game card. Okay, so basically how I use this is this square right here represents 5 different drawings. Okay, so I like to break things into 5 different drawings because it usually shows me a majority of things. Okay, so for this last 5 here, okay, you can see that there was 2 hits in the 1 through 9, 4 hits in the teens, 2 hits in the 20s, 3 in the 30s, 4 in the 40s, 4 in the 50s, and there was 6 in the 60s. Okay, so as I look in the past history here, you can see that the 60s have been just really, really hot. Okay, so I'm just going to predict that it's going to cool down a little bit, and I'm just hoping that no 60 numbers will come up this drawing. So I'm going to eliminate the 60 numbers off of the game card. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll to the right here. I already have it all set up. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like with no red numbers from the color code and no 60 numbers from the individual numbers. Okay, so it's off to the next strategy. Okay, so strategy number 3, picking the numbers I hope will miss from group 1. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call my group 1 numbers. Okay, so basically I took all the numbers, all the white numbers, and I divided it into 4 groups. Okay, and I put colors to them. Okay, so I keep track of where the 5 white winning Powerballs land. Okay, so I keep the stats down here. Okay, so for this red area, there's 1 hit. Okay, for this last drawing, there's 1 hit in the blue. There was 2 in the orange and 1 in the green. Okay, so I'll go over those Powerball numbers again. They're 27, 35, 38, 57, and 66. Okay, so the 27 was in red, the 66 was in blue, the 38 was in green, and the 35 and 57 were in orange. Okay, so when it hits all 4 color combinations like that, I call it a row. Okay, so I do that to help me predict when there's going to be a row or when there's not going to be a row. Okay, so for this drawing coming up, I don't believe that there's going to be a row here. Okay, so I believe that one of these is going to have a 0, saying that no winning Powerball numbers will land in that area. Okay, so for this drawing, I'm going to predict that the 0 will be here in the green area. Okay, so I have 15 of these option cards. Okay, so the strategy is try to guess where the 0 is going to come up. Okay, so you could eliminate numbers. Okay, so again, I'm going to eliminate this green, the green numbers off of option card number 1. So I'm going to go back to the game card here, and I'm going to scroll to the right. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Again, with no red numbers from the color code, no 60 numbers from the individual numbers, and no green numbers from option card number 1 in group 1. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 1. Okay, my next guess is option card number 4, the orange area. Okay, and the reason why I'm picking this one is because these orange numbers have hit 18 drawings in a row. Okay, so I'm just going to predict that it's going to have a 0 here. Okay, that is due to miss. Okay, so another reason why I'm picking this is because this number up here represents how many blue marks there are, or how many zeros there have been. Okay, so you can see that the orange has 39. Well, over here, the red has 62, the blue has 54, and the green has 43 zeros. Okay, so I'm just going to predict that since this is a little bit behind, that it's due to hit, due to have a 0 to it. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate these orange numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 1. Okay, and my next guess is going to be option card number 5. And I'm going to predict that no green numbers will be coming up. And the reason why is because they hit 17 consecutive drawings, okay? And they have a double zero to it, double row to it as well. Okay, so most of the time, like 95% of the time, when there's 2 rows in a row here, usually there's a miss, okay? I mean, every once in a great while, you'll see something like here, like 3 rows, but again, it's very rare. Okay, so I'm going to predict that no green numbers will be coming up. So I'm going to eliminate the green numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. And I'm going to go back to group 1. Okay, and my next guess is going to be option card number 7, the green area here. Okay, and the reason why is because I hit 16 consecutive drawings. Okay, and another reason why is I don't think it's going to be a double row because a double row hit right down here and right down here. Okay, so I just don't think that this is going to be a double row, so I'm expecting to have a 0 here. Okay, and I think it will be right here at this green mark. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate the green numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so again, right down here, option card number 7, no green numbers. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 1. Okay, there's one more that I want to pick, and that's option card number 8, no blue numbers. Okay, so the reason why I'm picking this one is because blue has hit 11 consecutive drawings in a row. Okay, and it has a number of 42, where the red over here has 50, orange has 53, and the green has 52. Okay, so I'm just going to guess that no blue numbers will be coming up here on option card number 8. So I'm going to eliminate those blue numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so now it's off to the next strategy. Strategy number 4, picking the numbers I hope will miss from group 2. Okay, so what you're looking at is what I call my group 2 numbers. Okay, so much like group 1 where I divided numbers into 4 different groups, here I divided numbers into 8 different groups. Okay, so again, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so 3 of these groups won't be able to have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so the strategy is try to guess which one of these groups won't have the winning Powerball number to it and eliminate it from the game card. Okay, so my first guess here is going to be option card number 2. Okay, and I have 15 of these option cards as well. And I have marked these already. A blue mark means that I think it's going to miss, and a red mark means that I think it's going to hit. Okay, but I'm just concentrating on eliminating numbers right now. So I think that this area here, which is green, okay, I don't believe that these green numbers will be coming up. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate these green numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 2. And my next one is going to be option card number 5, no purple numbers. Okay, so these all look the same as far as red, blue, orange, green, purple, brown, gray, yellow. Okay, so you can see over here, it's kind of the same thing. Okay, it's just that the numbers that they represent are different. Okay, so again, it's option card number 5, the purple numbers. Okay, and I'll show you what they look like. Okay, and basically what I do here, I'll go into a little bit more detail, is I keep track of every 5 drawings, so it gives me a majority of things. Okay, so a 0 means that none of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers landed in this area. And of course, this 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever means that 1 out of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers landed in this red area. Okay, so again, when it comes to the majority of things, if there's 3 or more zeros, I color this blue for cold. If there's 3 or more hits, I color it red for hot. Okay, so over time, I can look through things and say, wow, I think that this has been really hot, or it's been really cold, and I think it's going to be, if it has been really cold, then I think it's going to, heat up, okay? Or it's been really hot, I think it's going to cool down. Okay, so for this one, I just think that it's going to miss again. So I'm going to eliminate these purple numbers off the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so I am done eliminating numbers. Okay, so I got the numbers down from 69 down to 3, 6, 10, 11 numbers here. Okay, so now it's off to the next strategy. Okay, and that is strategy number 5, the 50-50 picks. Okay, so what you're looking at is what I call the 50-50 picks. Okay, so again, there's 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so there's going to be a majority of either odd numbers or even numbers. Okay, so I like to keep track of that, and I try to predict what the majority will be, either odds or evens. Okay, so I have kept track of 216 drawings. Okay, and that goes back to October 7th, 2015. That's when the Powerball lottery went from 59 numbers to 69 numbers. Okay, so out of this 216 drawings, 108 drawings have been the majority of odd numbers, and 108 drawings have been the majority of even numbers. Okay, so for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that there's going to be more odds than evens. Okay, and the reason why is, again, I like to keep track of every 5 drawings, so it gives me a majority of things. Okay, so this last 5, the majority of these 5 drawings were even numbers. Okay, and before that, it was 2 odds, evens, odds, evens, odds, evens. Okay, so they've been going back and forth, and I'm not sure what the next 5 is going to do, but I just think that it's going to be more odds than evens. Okay, so over here, I think that it's going to be more to the high side than the low side, and you can see that here there's been 108 drawings, the majority in the red or the high side, and 108 drawings on the majority to the blue or to the low side. So for this drawing, I think it's going to be to the high side. And over here, I have left and right, so you can see that the left side is a little bit behind on the right side. Okay, so I'm going to predict that this next drawing, the majority will be to the left. Okay, and finally, the last one is this red and blue area. Okay, so you can see that the blue is way behind on the red. Okay, so even though it's hit 4 drawings in a row, I still think that the majority is going to be in the blue area. Okay, so one more thing that I have here. This is all I have for the Powerball itself. Okay, the red number. Okay, so there's 26 red numbers. And in this column over here to the left, blue means that it's a low number, and that's 1 to 13. And red means it's a high number, 14 to 26. So you can see that it's been blue for the last 5 drawings. Okay, so for this drawing here, I think it's going to be red, which means it's a high number between 14 and 26. And over here, you can see that the last 4 drawings have been blue, so I think here is going to be red, so I think it's going to be odds. Okay, so I think the Powerball will be a high odd number. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the game card here. Okay, I kind of got stuck. Okay, so here is the 50-50 picks. Okay, sorry about that. And again, I'm going with more odd numbers than even. And I'm going for more high numbers than low numbers. And more to the left side than the right side. And more to that blue area than the red area. Okay, so what I'm going to do to try to predict what numbers are going to come up from this is I'm going to go back to the strategies here. Okay, so strategy number 6, picking the numbers I hope will hit from groups 1 and 2. Okay, so I'm just going to concentrate on group 2 for now. Okay, so again here, I marked out some red spots here. Okay, so I think here in option card number 1, I think this green area will hit. Okay, so you can see the green, and that represents these green numbers. Okay, so I think one of these green numbers will come up. And as I go back to the game card, okay, so what's left is the 12, the 44, and the 52. So what I did is I went back through all the group 2 option cards here, and I wrote down all the numbers that were left on the game card that I marked as red here. Okay, so you can see that there's a bunch of them. Okay, so as I go back to the game card, you can see what I have over here. Okay, so I'm going to go to the next strategy. Okay, strategy number 7, picking my numbers. Okay, so when I thought that all these were going to hit, I had to make sure that I had to pick a number from each one of these groups. Okay, so the numbers that made sense to me the most here are right over here. I'm going to write them down. Okay, and the numbers I'm going with for this drawing, I think will be coming up is 3, 16, 33, 43, and 44. Okay, so why I picked these numbers, not just according to over here, you know, is a big one is the individual numbers. Okay, so most of the time it's a 4 that comes up. Okay, so as I go back through history, you can see all the 4s that come up. Okay, and for the last couple of drawings, the majority has been 3, so I just think that we're going to have a run of 4s here. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that the numbers that I picked were going to hit 4 groups. Okay, so as you can see, the 3's in a group, 16's in a group, 33's in a group, and 43 and 44 will make that 4 groups that I'm looking for. Okay, so again, the numbers that I'm going to go with is 3, 16, 33, 43, and 44. Okay, folks, I'm always looking for people to play my game, so instead of charging a fee to play, I like to charge a commission for using my system, 1% if you get all 5 white balls correct. You could read the fine print, and if you're interested, you could email me at trm6776@gmail.com. All right, folks, I appreciate you watching, and best of luck with your picks.